So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has been really good to kick off this NBA season. Of course, just a year ago, it was basically the season from hell where everybody was either injured or suspended for a decent amount of the season. So they were bad, obviously went ahead and drafted Zach Edey, and they're having a really good start to this season. Now, unfortunately today, we're not going to get to use any of these Grizzlies players because before we kick off year one, we are going to be trading away every single player that is currently on this Grizzlies roster. Of course, we'll have no say in any of these trades whatsoever, and by the end of the video, our goal is to bring Memphis a championship. And finally, as always, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comments section, whether it's a new series idea, a challenge, a historic rebuild, whatever it may be, whatever you guys want to see. Let me hear it all down below in the comment section. I'm always open to pretty much anything you guys do want to see for rebuilds. So I'm excited for this one today. This series has been an absolute blast so far. Thank you guys for all the support. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into some moves. Of course, this team is led by John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., a lot of really quality players, and a lot of guys for this Grizzlies team have been very nice surprises so far this season. So there's a lot of quality depth here with this group, and of course, we're not going to get to use any of it. So my first and biggest goal is obviously to get a good trade return for John Morant. I mean, again, I have no say in it whatsoever. We have 17 trade offers for him, and I am just hoping we get somebody who is relatively young and a decent overall, because if I get some BS package to kick off this video, I'm not going to be a happy camper. Now, 17 trade offers, certainly enough for John Morant. Eyes are closed, as you can see right here, and we are going to go ahead and stop right about now. Feels good. And it is James Harden and Ivica Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, I mean, I would have taken a lot of these probably over that. Oh my God, give me fucking Jalen Brunson. God, that would have been nice. But there are certainly some worse offers we could have had as well. James Harden's actually been pretty damn good to kick off this season. Of course, John Morant is, like 10 years younger and certainly a better player at this point in their respective careers. But Harden's honestly not the worst option in the world to have for year one anyways. All right, Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be up next. Of course, the former Defensive Player of the Year at an 88 overall, 25 years of age. It's kind of crazy to say only making $25 million, but that's not a crazy salary in today's NBA. Especially somebody, who's as good as Triple J is. So 23 different trade options for him. Of course, eyes are now shut once again. We are going to scroll through all of these in 3, 2, and 1. And it is going to be, oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about, 2K. That is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of trades that you need to give me on a more regular basis. I'm not even going to look at the other options. Not that I was going to take any of them anyways, but Zion Williamson, welcome to Memphis. Beautiful. All right, he's going to be the new face of this franchise moving forward. Marcus Smart's going to be up next. We'll do him and Scottie Pippen Jr. just because, again, Scotty's not making a whole lot of money, so easier to include him with somebody making a little bit more, if you understand where I'm coming from here. So we're going to scroll through, I think, 20-ish trade offers. I didn't see the exact number here, and we're going to stop. Now feels good. And it's going to be Rob Dillingham and Dante DiVincenzo from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, I know Dillingham should, progress and develop decently well, so that's not the worst deal in the world. I mean, maybe it would have been nicer to get somebody who's a little bit more NBA ready, but it is what it is. Desmond Bane, who is now only an 80 overall. Is Desmond Bane just having a really bad season? Because I think he started 2K25 at like an 84, so... yeah, well, that's not great. If I do him and Zach Edey together, are there enough offers? Okay, 10 feels a little low. I'll maybe combine Edey with like Brandon Clark. We'll do, how about Aldama? Are there more than 10 at least? There's 13. All right, 13 feels like it's enough, at least in my opinion. All right, we'll scroll through all of these. What we're going to do is we're going to stop right now, and this is not the one we're taking. We're actually taking this trade offer right here, and it's Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets, or it would have been thank the heavens. The amount of times in these videos that I have gotten this exact trade package for pretty much a lot of different trade options is way too many. So Schroeder and DFS is, probably a better deal anyways, but it's certainly one I prefer just given how many times I've gotten a lot of these guys. So, all right, we're going to do Zach Edey, him and Brandon Clark, like $17, $18 million combined between the two of them, and 19 trade offers is certainly more than enough here. So we're going to scroll through all of these, hoping we get ourselves a nice young player to maybe replace Edey, and stop. It is going to be Cam Johnson, and I can't take Aldama back, so we, of course, are going to have to find a different offer. Stop. It is going to be Mark Williams and Josh Green here from the Charlotte Hornets. I actually don't hate that. I think Mark Williams is a pretty good player. All right. Continuing to make our way through, Jalen Wells, him and G.G. Jackson just don't make enough money. I mean, not really anybody at this point makes enough money. How about Jalen Wells and Luke Kennard? God, they got to change that picture. It scares the shit out of me every single time I see it. Okay. Stop. How about one to the left? That's going to be Grayson Allen and Tyus Jones. God, there is nothing I hate more than trading for Tyus Jones, and I'm sure you all understand why. It's because he enters unrestricted free agency without bird rights heading into the first offseason. So, again, it's basically just a one-year rental, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world if you're a serious contender, but you're kind of looking at a more long-term picture. Not my favorite thing. God, we have a lot of one-year deals. I'm just kind of realizing that right now. All right, G.G. Jackson, Jake LaRavia, not going to be making a lot of money. Probably going to be a rookie-scale contract in return, but we're kind of left with limited options at this point, to be honest with you. So, stop. And then he's going to be Trey Mann and Nick Richards. Another deal here with the Charlotte Hornets. I actually don't mind that deal whatsoever. All right, we are getting close to the end of everybody we have to deal away. Vince Williams Jr., and I think it's just, is it just him and Jay Huff? Of course, we don't trade away the two-way players, so I will go through it one more time after this, but if my eyeballs don't deceive me, then I think this should be our final trade here, and it is going to be coming with the Atlanta Hawks, Kobe Buffkin, Cody Zeller. Welcome to Memphis. All right, let me just double check and confirm that everybody on this team did not start out this video as a Memphis Grizzly. I believe, I'm almost 100% positive that we should be good, and I'm not missing anything, I don't think. Of course, as we mentioned, don't do the two-way players, so I think we're all set. Of course, we have the other rules set in place. We are not allowed to make any other deals until the first offseason, so we are going to have to get a little creative, move around some positions, and I'll see you guys with this rotation. We definitely got a little creative when we went ahead and moved around some positions. Of course, we didn't really have any other choice because I am prohibited, if you will, from making any trades. But we finalized the 10-man rotation. I think the way it is going to work best here for our first season. It's going to be Dennis Schroeder starting at the 1. As you can see, I moved Harden to the 2. Not only does he go up a couple overalls, but it was a position of need. We didn't have a lot of depth at that 2-guard spot, and at the 1, there is actually way too much depth for, one team at least. So Harden's going to be playing, the 2. He'll probably decline his player option and enter unrestricted free agency in the offseason, but that's what he's going to be doing for us for now. I moved Grayson to the 3. He's going to start there. It's not necessarily for any reason. He's just the highest overall when you move him to small forward, and I think ultimately having his shooting in this starting 5 with the front court of Zion and Zubac isn't the worst idea in the world. But as I mentioned, that they are going to be our front court. Bench unit will be led by Tyus Jones. Obviously going to lose him in the offseason for nothing, but we do have a lot of point guard depth, as we've talked about, so that's not going to kill me, but for year 1, he will play. You got Mark Williams here at the backup center spot, Trey Mann at the backup 2-guard, Dorian Finney-Smith, the backup 4, and finally Josh Green backing up Allen at the 3. So, unfortunately, this is a situation we find ourselves in a lot in these videos, that, quality NBA players aren't getting minutes, and it's just the way it works. Obviously, NBA teams run more than, 10-man rotations in real life, but here in an unrealistic rebuild with no injuries on, no fatigue, anything like that, we go 10-man strictly to the point. So, Nick Richards, Rob Dillingham, Kobe Buffkin, unfortunately, just not going to get any minutes here, at least for year 1. But I think this team will be in the playoffs. I don't know if we're necessarily a true contender with, like Oklahoma City, Dallas, Denver, all those guys, but I think we should be a playoff team and maybe make a little noise. Who knows? I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 officially wraps up, and it sees us finish with a record of 54-28. Considering we had no say in what this team actually looked like outside the rotation, I 1,000% will take that for year 1 here in Memphis. Now, Luka Doncic, he's your MVP. Jared McCain, Rookie of the Year. I'm very much noticing that I feel like a 2K update came along, and these awards are pretty much always the same here for year 1 anyways. All right, let's get into it. Standings time. We end up as a 3 seed here, which I did not necessarily anticipate. I thought we'd be closer to like 5 or 6, but 1,000% we'll take a 3 seed. We are in the mix with a lot of the better teams here in the West, and here's a look at the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the stats for this team real quick. Zion Williamson was incredible. It's absolutely awesome to have him at full health and obviously on the court for 82 games, 34 minutes a night. Just not something that is ever realistically probably ever going to be a possibility for Zion in real life. James Harden was pretty good. Considering he's 35 years old, 17.7 boards, 11.5 assists. Harden's been really solid this season in real life as well. And I don't know. We'll see what we want to do with him this offseason. You got Dennis Schroeder here, Ivica Zubac, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones. We had 6 guys in double digits in terms of points per game. Williams, Mann, DFS, and then Josh Green. Rebounding department is led by Zubac. Assists is going to be Harden. So, it's not often that year 1 of these rebuilds, sees me in the playoffs and maybe even in contention, but that's what we find ourselves in right now. And we are going to be matching up with the Spurs here in round 1, who have acquired Norman Powell. Interesting decision. But Victor Wembanyama is obviously, a freak of nature, and Zubac's certainly going to have his hands full with him. It is a quick 2-0 lead for us, however, make that 3-0. They do win game 4 at home, and when we close them out on our home floor, 5. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves were a Western Conference finalist last year. They ultimately did lose to Dallas, but this team is still loaded, and we traded them Scottie Pippen Jr., and Anthony Edwards is obviously a superstar. You got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, there's just a whole lot of good going on here with the Timberwolves, and 2K loves them, so I'm not sure how this one's going to go for us. Find ourselves in a quick 2-0 deficit. Win Game 3 at home, lose Game 4, force Game 6, force Game 7. Oh, damn it. Got close to the 3-1 comeback, but end up falling in 7. I'm not going to lie to you. That felt like it was our maximum ceiling. I didn't really see this team going any further, and honestly, I'm kind of fine with it for year 1. So Dallas and New York in the finals, 7-game series, 31-point triple-double for Luka. He's your finals MVP. Okay, now we have free reign to basically do whatever we want, of course, outside of trading for any former Grizzlies. James Harden, I'm just going to double check and really quickly make sure he did not retire. It appears that he did not, which is good news for us in a couple different ways. Hall of Fame going to be CP3, jersey retirements, and then the draft lottery, which I think I just saw a Grizzlies logo flash. That's via the Pelican. Oh, you know what? That was from the Zion Williamson trade. We swapped our 26 pick for their 25 pick, and now we are projected to, a very late lottery pick, but still a lottery pick. And it's going to sit there at number 14. So you know what? It's fine with me. I'm not necessarily sure what we're going to do with it, but we'll figure it out. Taylor Jenkins will stay on. I like Taylor Jenkins quite a bit. I think he's a quality NBA head coach. And let's approach the 2025 NBA draft. So 2 first-round picks this year. Part of me says maybe move them for future assets, just given the depth that we do already have. But there's also an argument to be made that we have a lot of expiring contracts, which means we have a lot of unrestricted free agents, probably going to lose 1 to 2 guys. So what I'm going to actually try to do is see if I can maybe move into the top 10 by combining these 2 draft picks. Let's just see. Who was the 9th pick? It's the Nets. Okay. Let's just see if we can maybe get this done by including, both first-round picks this year and then maybe just a couple seconds. I mean, that would be pretty ideal, in my opinion, if it is possible. The Nets they also have 6, so maybe they'd be a little bit more willing. And then 2 seconds. I'm not giving up any first. Fine by me. All right, whoever we draft here is not going to start in all likelihood, but they'll, be able to be a quality player for us, maybe coming off the bench. Liam McNeely is not somebody I've ever really drafted before, but considering small forward is a position of need for us, I think it does make a little sense. Also got Conrad Knuppel? No idea. Drake Powell also sitting here. He's somebody I've drafted before, but I'm thinking Liam McNeely. I think he's going to be my guy. He's the highest rated prospect according to our scouting department. Also, pretty much according to here, it's either between him or Conrad here, but Liam McNeely out of UConn. Welcome to Memphis. I don't really know. It's a 76 overall. It's pretty damn good. All right, so Harden declines. Not really a shocker there. We're going to bring back Williams. DFS picks up his player option. We'll bring back Kobe Buffkin as well. So Trey Mann going to enter restricted free agency, and I know we have a lot of unrestricted free agents. Really? Or maybe we just don't have bird rights on him as well. Can I not get Harden back? Because I'm going to really be upset if I can't get James Harden back right now. No, I can't. This game, man. It's just, it's stupid. It's wrong with the way the system works. I understand it lets you go, hundreds, maybe not hundreds of millions, but, millions and millions of dollars into basically the hard cap to re-sign your own guys, but this is unrealistic. You wouldn't just lose Harden for nothing after a season. So I might try to clear up a little bit of money, maybe moving off DFS and Josh Green, but ultimately I don't really think it's going to matter considering we are already in salary cap hell. But I'll take the draft picks. If there's a way I can get Harden back, of course I will go ahead and do it. But at this, juncture of this video, I just don't really see it happening. So I'll try. I'm certainly going to give it my best effort, but I just don't predict it's going to be the case. Any draft picks? Thank you very much, Brooklyn. So let me just reconfirm that James Harden is not going to be a possibility. No, he's not. If I want to get him, I have to clear up another contract, which how much am I off by? I'm sorry, I didn't even literally see. He wants $49 million. We have 40. All right. If I dump DiVincenzo, I can get him, which is not great because I wanted to keep all these contracts so I could make bigger moves. But, losing James Harden for nothing would just be completely idiotic. So let's go pay James Harden. It's obvious. Really? Why can I not go up anymore? You can see the fucking cap space right there. What idiot designs this, right? I'd like to have a sit-down conversation because I really hate the developers of this game for so many different reasons, but especially bullshit like this. You see the cap space sitting there. When I lower his contract, it goes up. When I raise it, it only lets me get to the point where I still have $3.79 million to spend. Round of applause for the fucking assholes that put out the same shitty product every single year. In a final attempt to salvage James Harden, we're going to send Grayson Allen to the Wizards for Keyshawn George. You know, maybe actually not the worst deal in the world anyways, just considering age, contract, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I still don't think I'm going to be able to get him. I think it's like, I don't know if it's a bug in the game. Okay, now it's going to let me pay. Nope, still. I'm trying to hold my tongue with the very, very choice words I'd like to use right now because I actually, you know, believe it or not, care about YouTube. But this is fucking ridiculous, right? Am I losing my mind? Why? I mean, what fucking asshat comes up with this shit? I mean, good fucking Lord. And now, do I not even have to renounce these guys? This game actually makes me want to rip my fucking hair out. It's actually insane. I'm losing my mind. I really am. And good God, man. Really good fucking God. We're going to see if there's a way for the Atlanta Hawks to trade us Dyson Daniels. Adding a little bit more defense to this team would not be a bad idea. And again, given the contracts that we now have remaining that are actually tradable, we are kind of constricted in the terms and the moves that we can make financially. So Mark Williams, of course, was backing up Zubats anyways. Would have been nice to have him still, but we have Nick Richards, Keyshawn George we obviously just got. But I want Dyson Daniels. So I'm going to have to probably give up like 85 first-round draft picks, which is, again, not my favorite thing in the world to do, but it gets us Dyson Daniels. I think it's a really good deal. Okay, gave up a lot of draft picks, got Benedict Mathurin. Again, trading for players that are still on rookie scale contracts is basically the only thing I can do at this point. And even if it is a hefty overpay in the draft pick department, it gets us a guy who's an 84 overall and certainly an upgrade with this team. So, you know, all things considered, this team isn't necessarily bad. It's going to be Harden and Dillingham. Got to find a backup for Daniels. Mathurin and McNeely. Got to find a backup for Zion, and then Zubac and Nick Richards. So, you know, I wouldn't say we're necessarily, full of superstars or anything like that, but we have quality players. Actually, I can wait on Trey Mann for him to accept a different offer. And then, you know what? As much as I'm not his biggest fan in the world, Luke Cornett is actually probably my best option here. So, yep, do not renounce Trey Mann. God, I mean, who designs this shit? Seriously, it's actually fucking insane. It really... No! Don't renounce him. My God, it's like the Hall of Fame idiots that get paid probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to, you know, create a game like this. It's just not even worth it at this point, man. I didn't need a center. Oh, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Is Nick Richards expiring? He is. All right, maybe we'll just trade Nick Richards for a power forward instead. Caleb Martin, certainly not my first choice, but he might be all we got, and he's on a multi-year contract, so probably about as good as it's going to get. Ooh, Tamani Kamara's here. Not giving up a first-round draft pick. We don't have a lot of those. So a one-for-one swap, and I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. I don't know why I didn't see it coming, but James Harden has regressed like crazy. And you know what? I have an even worse feeling he's going to retire this offseason. So you can call it unrealistic. It totally is. This video is not supposed to be realistic. And I'm not going to crash out about James Harden once again this offseason. So we're going to go ahead and move him. Probably should have done it in the offseason, to be honest with you. But now instead of getting, you know, a higher 80+ overall, we're just going to get Jalen Suggs and Tobias Harris. So I don't love giving up our, 9th overall pick, Liam McNeely. But honestly, it's again, not the worst thing in the world. So, yep, Jalen Suggs, welcome to the team. He's obviously going to take over the point guard spot. Year 2 here in Memphis. Last season actually was pretty good. And then the offseason was... well, I'd say not fun, but that would be an understatement. It fucking blew. I mean, I'm not going to describe it any other way. This game drives me absolutely up the wall on a daily basis. But we ultimately have a really good team. There's no denying that. It certainly does suck to lose Harden. And if he was still like even an 85 overall, I definitely would have kept him. But he was an 82 at the point guard spot. And again, I think there's a strong possibility he retires this offseason. So instead, went out and got ourselves Jalen Suggs, pairing him up with Dyson Daniels, which... in my opinion, I mean, outside of maybe Holiday and White, I think this is clearly the best defensive backcourt. And actually, at this point of their careers, probably is. You got Mathurin here at the 3, Zion still at the 4, and Zubac at the 5. Bench unit will now be led by Trey Mann. Rob Dillingham now cracking the rotation. Tobias Harris, Luke Cornett, and Caleb Martin. I'll see y'all at the end of year 2. All right, year 2 is officially wrapped, and I'm happy. I think 62-20, which is our final record, is really, really damn good. Considering... Again, I don't mean to keep harping on and beating a dead horse, but the offseason we just had, 1,000% will take 62 wins. Now, Luka Doncic off of a regular season MVP last year, a finals MVP last year, and has now won another regular season MVP. Cooper Flagg ends up in Utah. He's a rookie of the year. Hartenstein coming off the bench in Oklahoma City. Sixth man, Wemby, another depoy. Walker, most improved. Curry, clutch player of the year. And Jason Kidd. God, I really just despise how much this game just loves Dallas. I'm not saying they're not a good team. They 1,000% are. Best backcourt in basketball, in my opinion. Obviously led by one of the best players in basketball. It's just like 68 wins isn't something that's like common, and I see it happen every single time in one of these videos. All right, I'm not going to keep shitting on 2K. They certainly get enough of that. Zion was incredible. Certainly an all-NBA caliber player. I mean, that's an awesome, awesome season. Ben Mathurin, Jalen Suggs, man, Zubats, Dillingham, Daniels, Harris, Martin, and then Cornette. Rebounding department is led by Zubats. It's just going to be Dyson Daniels. All right, we are facing a play-in team. That play-in team is the Houston Rockets. Certainly not my favorite team to face in the world. They now have Jalen Green coming off the bench. Actually, I'm starting to wonder if Jalen Green is not in the Rockets' long-term plans. You know, I could see him being like the main piece in like a blockbuster deal. I have no idea for who, but just kind of putting it out there. All right, we dropped game 1 at home, win game 2, also win game 3 on the road, and game 4. And after winning 4 straight games, we have advanced to the second round. And it's Minnesota once again. Oh my fucking God. Did they trade Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert and land themselves De'Aaron Fox? How does that work? How fun and exciting. All right, we're up 2-0, though. Make that 3-0. Make that a sweep. Okay. It is time for 68-win Dallas, who have somehow added Jimmy Butler and Nikola Vucevic. And they're playing Daniel Gafford at the 4. What in the everlasting... How do you have this kind of money? Right? If Jimmy... I swear to God, I may turn off the game. If Jimmy Butler is making like $2 million, I'm going to lose it. How? Why? This used to be a glitch in like 2K, like literally like 2K16 when I started making videos, like almost 10 years ago. Jimmy Butler, not even just Jimmy Butler, but like I remember like Kevin Durant would sign with contenders for like $3 million. And I don't know why it's a thing here in 2K25 because it hasn't been in years. And I certainly can't do that. But Jimmy Butler is willing to sign with Dallas for $5 million. Awesome. I hope we beat them. I really do. For multiple reasons. We are 2-2 with them right now. We go up 3-2. Eat a bag of dicks. We're in the NBA Finals. Taking on Tatum and the Celtics. Of course, another really challenging matchup. This team is not going to be fun to play. You know, I guess at least the good thing here is I know for a fact that nobody took, you know, a veteran discount to ring chase. I can tell you that. So here goes nothing against the Celtics. I think they are probably the better team. But maybe we can beat them. Who knows? We're up 3-1. No. 2K. I can feel it. I can tell when it's coming. Whoa. I can tell when it's about to happen. It's actually kind of sad. And I'm not going to lie to you. Just, I'll let you. Okay, we're going to win. I would have hopped in. I explained this in my video yesterday. I am only hopping in and doing gameplay when I have time these days. And unfortunately today I do not. So Zion Williamson, your finals MVP. We get it done. All right, we are going. See, this is why we made the move that we did. And of course, you know, the championship as well. So I guess technically would James Harden get a ring? Because he was on the team to start the season. He never played a game this season, but I don't know, maybe. Okay, it is time for the final offseason. We have traded away basically every pick we have. We're obviously not going to have anything special heading into the final season. We are certainly going to go ahead and where the hell is... Ooh, Spoelstra sitting here. No, Taylor Jenkins deserves to be brought back. We just won a championship. If we did anything but that, where's Taylor Jenkins? Thank you. I don't know why this game makes it so hard to bring back your own head coach. You're going to mull? Good God. I try to do a nice thing, and I try to go out and get somebody and bring back my own head coach, and it's just not happening, unfortunately. And everybody else here, not named Mike Stauffer, is a bum. And it's like this game can tell when I'm pissed at it because it gives me bullshit like this. I don't even know. Everybody here is trash. Jordy Fernandez, Brian Keefe sitting here, I guess, maybe. I mean, good Lord. Good fucking Lord. Okay, let's approach the 2026 draft. We have no draft picks, which is fine by me. Not going to probably make a ton of changes entering year number 3. Why would I? Daniels and Mathurin will both certainly be brought back. And he has 6 offers. None of them are actually real. All right, we're getting... Wow, he wants $37 million? God damn. And then I'll pay Tobias Harris for now. Certainly could be a sign-in trade candidate. Call it whatever you want. But I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. Of course, everybody that was on this team last year is under contract. I think we might have one more trade. We are trading Caleb Martin to the Los Angeles Lakers for Max Christie. Ultimately, this is a regression versus progression type of situation where Christie's 23, likely will go up in the overall department where Martin is 30, and likely will go down. So the draft picks don't really matter. Of course, I've already won a championship. It pretty much is what it is. And then I could just move Harris back to the 4, which, certainly wouldn't hurt me. But if I can maybe make one more upgrade and call it a sign and trade, call whatever you want, it won't kill me. So power forward is obviously what we're looking for right now. I might just say fuck it and honestly trade for Ben Simmons. 2 bums getting traded for each other. Najee Marshall's sitting there as well. Grant Williams. Pajemski? Really? I mean, there's not really a way for me to logically get him into the starting 5, but the bench unit, but I'm just happy we were actually offered him. All right, this is hilarious. I'm trading for Ben Simmons. I don't really know why I'm doing this, but we are, and hilarious. I know. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 3. Fresh off a championship, we are back for the 3rd and final regular season here in Memphis. Starting 5 remains exactly the same with the best defensive backcourt in basketball of Jalen Suggs and Dyson Daniels. Mathurin remains at the 3, Zion and Zubats as the front court. Bench unit really didn't change a lot in the grand scheme of things. I mean, of course, a couple minor changes, but Trey Mann's still going to be running the 6-man spot with Rob Dillingham behind him, Max Christie, new addition, Brickleberry Simmons in here as well, and Luke Cornett, my GOAT, rounding it out. So it's not often I can say this as well. After winning a championship, we have a new head coach in Brian Keefe. Didn't want him, but he was pretty much all that was left. So I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. Year 3 sees Luka Doncic win another MVP, but more importantly, it sees us finish with our best record yet at 64-18. So hopefully well on our way to another championship. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Johnson, 6th man. Wemby, 3rd straight depoy. Devin Carter, Providence, Most Improved. Luka Doncic, Clutch Player of the Year. Brian Keefe. You could have put me as the head coach of this team. I'm pretty sure 64 wins would have still happened. All right, let's dive into it. 5 games up on Dallas. Oh, hell. What the you need to relegate this conference, or at least pull 2 teams from the West into that is just disgusting. Okay, let's go over the number. I mean, Zion is playing at an MVP level, and it's not even funny, and I hate that he's not getting the recognition because, obviously there's, Luka Doncic in the world, but incredible. Very, very, getting Zion Williamson was the best move of this video, and I didn't even manually do it. Awesome. Mathurin, Suggs, Dillingham, Mann, Zubats, Daniels, Christie, Simmons, and then Cornett. Rebounding department going to be Zubats. Assists going to be Daniels. Okay, we are a 1 seed, and we're taking on Denver in round 1. What the hell? How is this an 8 seed? That's 2K for you. I think they very clearly have the best player in the series. I think we might be a bit better, but they're still really good. There's no doubt about that. We're going to game 6. We win in 6. All right, for the 3rd straight year, it's us and the Timberwolves. Let's just see. Are Jimmy Butler and Nikola Vucevic wait, they were in Dallas last year, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, am I making that shit up? Did I think Dallas was the Timberwolves? No. How much is Jimmy Butler making this time around? $2 million. Still ring chasing. All right, let's see what's going to happen here. Split the first 2 at home, do win game 3 and game 4 on the road, and then we close them out in 5. Good luck, Jimmy. All right, now here with Dallas, they have obviously lost both Nikola Vucevic and Jimmy Butler, the duo that we just beat in the West semis, and this Mavericks team still really good. Don't get me wrong, but I think we are better, even if they have the best player. We sweep. On to the Detroit Pistons here in the NBA Finals. Cade Cunningham leading this group with Shaedon Sharpe, Czar Thompson, Holland, Mitchell Robinson. Okay, got some quality depth. Okay, maybe we're not better. What do I know? I don't know. I can tell when it's going to happen. It's actually kind of sad. I really can. All right, well, the Pistons blow a 3-0 lead, and we go back-to-back. What a video. What a video. What a frustrating video. I mean, God, that first offseason had me ready to actually throw my computer out the fucking window. It was insane. And I'm sorry there was no gameplay. I truly am on a time crunch. It's not me, ignoring it blatantly. And you saw in yesterday's video, it was 35 minutes long. I certainly still enjoyed doing it. It was just, it's a time situation. So I'm sorry, life happens. It gets in the way. But I know you guys enjoy gameplay. I will do my best to get it in videos going forward. And God, I hope none of them are as stressful as this, because this one was enjoyable, but it also sucked, if that makes any sense. But I hope you guys still liked it. Obviously put together, 2 championships, which is always fun. So that's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.